another video. If you're new here, my name's Maddie, and today we are making a fantastic new Disney cosplay with a special guest, my younger sister. Now, what kind of Disney cosplay are we making today?
We are making Ariel's green turquoise ball gown.
That's right, we are making the beautiful turquoise ball gown. If you're unfamiliar, this is what it looks like. Now, we will be making this dress for an upcoming trip to Lake Geneva, Switzerland, to the castle that inspired the palace in the original Little Mermaid, known as Chateau de Chalon. That was a major mouthful, but we are super excited for this project. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. The plan of action is we're going to cover what fabrics we're using, the patterns, and then go a little bit more into detail as to what this costume requires. And then once that's done, we'll go ahead and start cutting the materials out, sewing the skirt together, the bodice together, and then completing this project and taking it with us on our trip. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'm going to have my younger sister explain to you what kind of fabric we're using.
So for the main body of the dress, we're going to have this curtain material, this pretty turquoise. And then over it, we are going to have this pretty sparkly tulle. For the side drapes, we'll have this chiffon and tulle. And for the lining, we'll have this turquoise. And then we'll have lace around certain areas, and we'll have a brooch in the center.
Now, the patterns we are using today for this project are a combination of McCall's 4681. We are going to be using the bodice and the puffy sleeves in this. And then we will also potentially be using the Butterick 5935 pattern in case that flops. Hey guys, we are back at the desk, and let's cover a little bit of the details of what this dress looks like. So first and foremost, this dress is absolutely ethereal. It looks straight out of the ocean, and the first thing you notice, or at least the first thing I noticed right off the bat, is the bodice. Now, there's a little bit of ruching, but it's a pretty standard corset bodice that you see in a lot of Disney movies, and in the center of the bodice is a very pretty ocean brooch. Now, besides the bodice, at the base of it, it has this really interesting hem that's kind of corded, so it looks really thick and 3D. The sleeves are going to be puffy, kind of like a mutton sleeves, made out of this really pretty seafoam material that we didn't show on camera, but it looks very similar to what the side drapes are going to look like. Now, moving on to said side drapes, these are made out of a really soft, flowy, shiny material. In this case, we're going to be using chiffon, and we're going to try to get it to be full length, but it may be shorter than the actual image. And then otherwise, the base of the dress, the skirt, is going to have this beautiful shiny tulle on top of it. So with that being said, now we're going to go ahead and cut all our materials out, and then from there we will go ahead and get started working on sewing the skirt together. Guys, it is the second day of working on this project, and today we are going to start on the skirt. And the first thing we're going to do is to sew the under layer of the skirt together, which is the dark teal curtain fabric. And to do that, my younger sister's going to work on that, while at the same time I work on sewing the tulle layers together. And all she has to do is sew a seam here and sew a seam there. Okay guys, so it's been a couple minutes and we have completely finished sewing the skirt, underlayer, and the tulle layer together, and now the plan is we're going to go ahead and trim the underlayer with a really pretty lace, and then after that we'll go ahead and attach the tulle layer on top. Now that everything has been attached to the underlayer of the skirt, I'm going to go ahead and sew a waistband. Okay guys, so here is what our finished underskirt looks like, and all we have left to do to completely finish it is to sew up the back. But I think it turned out very, very pretty. My only annoyance is the tulle is kind of bunching together a little bit. I think it's static. But otherwise, once that's completed, we'll go ahead and start working on the side drapes and overskirt portion. Okay guys, so the first thing we're going to do to work on the side drapes, because they're kind of pre-made a little bit for this project, is we're going to go ahead and gather the tulle into this skirt piece, and then from there we will attach it to a waistband, and then finally we will move on to the bodice.
Now it's time to work on the bodice. The first thing we're going to do is sew the lining together.
The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and sew up the darts on either side and then sew the center front to the center back. Repeat these same steps with the outer layer of the bodice. Now that we've finished sewing the bodice and the lining, I'm going to go ahead and attach them together and then flip them inside out. Guys, so this is what our bodice looks like right now, and now my sister's gonna go ahead and trim the sides of the top and the bottom of the bodice with this teal cord.
We finished the bodice, we sewed fasteners to the back, and now we are going to work on the sleeves.
Guys, so the first thing we're going to do to work on the sleeves is based around all the edges of the sleeve pieces, including the top part of the sleeve and the sleeve cuffs. Next thing we're going to do with the sleeves is gather the main body of the sleeve into the arm cuffs. Now that we've gotten the sleeves done, we're going to go ahead and attach them to the bodice. Okay guys, we have completed the bodice for this project, and I think it turned out really, really nice. Otherwise, let's go ahead and move on to final thoughts before we head to Switzerland for our final results. Okay guys, that is a wrap for another Disney DIY, and we are headed now to
Switzerland,
where we will be showing you our final result. If you did enjoy this video, please like,
subscribe,
or share for more content and Disney related DIYs. And without further ado, let's go ahead and show you the final results.